Imaging finding a rare coin so rare it could pay off your house today, we're diving into 10 of the most valuable US coins ever found. Real coins worth hundreds and even millions of dollars or more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next rare find. Let's start this.
Imagine reaching into a jar of old pocket change tonight and pulling out a single penny, a coin so small, so ordinary, that most people wouldn't even bend down to pick it up. Now imagine that same penny quietly holding the power to change your financial future. What if the next coin you touch isn't just 1 cent, but a gateway to thousands of dollars in the current market? Today we're talking about the 1964 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent penny, a coin struck at the legendary United States Mint in Denver, and why certain rare era versions of this coin are commanding maximum dollar prices right now. Let me ask you something. How many pennies from the 1960s are sitting in drawers, jars, or old coffee cans across America? How many families inherited coins and never looked twice at them? And what if one of those coins is the 1964 D Lincoln cent, the very year that marked a powerful transition in American coinage history? The obverse of this coin features Abraham Lincoln, the face that has represented resilience and leadership for generations. The reverse still carries the classic wheat-free memorial design introduced in 1959. But here's where things get interesting. The 1964 D penny was minted in enormous quantities in Denver. Millions upon millions were struck. On the surface, that sounds common. Ordinary. Nothing special, but here's the truth seasoned collectors understand: when a mint produces coins in massive volume, mistakes happen. And in the world of coin collecting, mistakes are not weaknesses. They are golden opportunities. Now picture this. It's 1964. Coin presses are running fast. Dies are wearing down. Workers are pushing production to meet national demand. And in that rush, small but dramatic errors slip through. Doubled dies. Off-center strikes. Die cracks. Repunched mint marks. Each error creates a unique fingerprint. A coin that should never have existed. What if the penny in your change has doubling so sharp you can see it in the lettering? What if the D mint mark shows signs of repunching? What if the strike is off-center but still shows a full date? These are the kinds of errors collectors compete for aggressively at auction houses across the United States. Let's pause for a second. When was the last time you actually inspected a penny under magnification? Be honest. Most people glance at the date and move on. But serious buyers don't glance. They study. They measure. They authenticate. The 1964 D Lincoln cent era coins have reached impressive maximum market values when in high mint state grades. Especially examples graded MS65, MS66, or higher by professional grading services. And here's the exciting part: the market today is stronger than ever for high-grade copper cents from the 1960s. Why? Because collectors between 30 and 65 years old remember these coins. They grew up with them. Nostalgia fuels demand. And when nostalgia meets scarcity, prices rise. Imagine discovering a sharply struck 1964 D double die obverse. The letters in Liberty show clear separation. The date 1964 appears doubled under magnification. That's not damage. That's mint-made history. Coins like that can reach maximum dollar levels in today's competitive market, especially when certified and auctioned properly. But here's the emotional trigger most people ignore: fear of missing out. How many rare coins were spent at grocery stores because someone didn't know what to look for? How many valuable error pennies are still hiding in circulation? Every time you ignore your change, you might be ignoring opportunity. Let me ask you directly. Are you checking your pocket change carefully? Are you searching old rolls from the bank? Are you asking relatives about inherited coin jars? Or are you letting potential wealth slip through your fingers? And here's a pattern interrupt for you. If pennies were truly worthless, why do professional collectors use microscopes to inspect them? Why do auction houses photograph them under high-resolution lighting? Because in the smallest details, fortunes are found. Now let's shift into strategy. You might be wondering, how to sell old rare coins. How to sell old and rare coins in USA and its value in auction shop. How to make money from coins. How to go from pocket change to millions. The first step is knowledge. You must identify the exact variety and confirm whether the error is genuine. Counterfeits exist. Damage can look like errors. But true mint errors have consistent characteristics. Next, authentication. Professional grading services provide credibility. A certified 1964D error penny in a sealed holder instantly attracts serious buyers. Without certification, buyers hesitate. With certification, competition increases, then comes presentation. The difference between selling to a local pawn shop and listing in a national coin auction can be thousands of dollars. Major auction platforms expose your coin to nationwide and global bidders. And when two collectors want the same rare error coin, the bidding war pushes value upward. Let's connect this to lifestyle. You're not just collecting metal discs. You're building assets. You're transforming overlooked objects into liquid wealth. Imagine funding a vacation, paying off debt, or investing in property because you understood the value of a 1964D Lincoln penny error. Does that sound impossible? Or does it sound like opportunity waiting for disciplined action? The coin market rewards patience and precision. A high-grade 1964D error cent, especially one with dramatic doubling or an eye-catching off-center strike, represents scarcity within abundance. Millions were made. Very few survived in pristine condition with valuable mint mistakes. Here's another question. What if your parents saved rolls from the 1960s? What if you inherited coins but never sorted them? Would you know what to look for? Would you recognize a die crack that increases desirability? Would you spot a strong strike that commands maximum dollar in the current market? The difference between an ordinary penny and a high-value error penny can be microscopic. But the financial difference can be enormous, and here's the urgency. As more collectors enter the hobby and online marketplaces make bidding easier, top examples disappear into private collections. Once a premium-grade error is locked away, supply shrinks even further. Demand remains. Prices climb. So how do you act wisely? Start tonight. Sort by date. Pull every 1964 penny. Separate those with AD mint mark. Examine the lettering closely. Look at Lincoln's profile for unusual doubling. Check the rim for off-center alignment. Use a magnifying glass at minimum, a loupe if possible, and ask yourself, what if this small habit becomes a life-changing discovery? You are not chasing fantasy. You are participating in a proven collector's market backed by decades of auction records and historical demand. The United States Mint may have produced billions of coins, but it cannot recreate a specific error from 1964. That moment in time is sealed forever. Remember this, wealth often hides in plain sight. The people who profit are the ones who look closer when others look away. From pocket change to maximum dollar outcomes, the journey begins with awareness. The 1964D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny is more than copper. It is a reminder that opportunity favors the observant. So I challenge you. Will you let another day pass without checking your coins? Or will you take control, educate yourself, authenticate your finds, and step into the marketplace with confidence? What if I told you that a single penny, a coin so ordinary you might toss it into a jar without a second thought, could quietly be worth a staggering amount of money today? Not a rare gold coin. Not a centuries-old treasure pulled from a shipwreck. But a simple 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent coin from the United States of America. Yes, the same kind of coin that may still be hiding in your drawer, your car console, or your childhood collection. And here is the real question, how many opportunities have already slipped through your fingers because you did not know what to look for? Today, we are diving deep into the 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin tied to the powerful legacy of Abraham Lincoln and struck by the historic United States Mint. For many Americans between 30 and 65, this is not just about coins. This is about financial opportunity. This is about turning forgotten pocket change into serious money. This is about asking yourself a bold question, Could I already be holding something that collectors are desperately searching for? Act 1 begins with awareness. In 1975, millions of Lincoln pennies were produced. Most carried no mint mark because they were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which at that time did not use a P mint mark for cents. On the surface, the 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny looks completely ordinary. The familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Copper tone. 1 cent face value. Nothing flashy, but here is where excitement starts to build. Within that massive production, rare error coins emerged. And those error coins are what ignite the market. Imagine this. A die is slightly misaligned. A strike is doubled. The date appears bold and shadowed. Or perhaps the coin is struck off-center. Maybe there is a dramatic die break cutting across Lincoln's profile. These are not defects. In the world of coin collecting, these are opportunities. These are the moments where a penny transforms into a collector's prize. Have you ever checked the word Liberty on your 1975 penny closely? Have you examined the date under magnification? Could there be doubling that you missed for years? What if the coin sitting in your kitchen jar right now shows a rare error that auction houses fight over, and here is a pattern interrupt for you? When was the last time you looked at a penny and thought, this might pay for my next vacation? Sounds crazy, right? Yet collectors across America are doing exactly that. Act 2 is where urgency enters the story. The coin market is not a sleepy hobby anymore. It is a powerful, global marketplace. Rare error coins from the 1970s are in high demand because many were heavily circulated and few survived in pristine condition. Condition is everything. A 1975 no mint mark penny in average circulated condition may only be worth face value. But in uncirculated, high-grade condition, especially with a dramatic mint error, the value can skyrocket. Collectors pay premiums for coins graded MS65, MS66, and above. They search for strong strikes, original red luster, and clear error characteristics. A dramatic double die or major off-center strike can multiply the value far beyond what most people imagine. Now let me ask you something important. How to sell old rare coins. How to make money from coins. How to move from pocket change to millions. These are not fantasy questions. These are strategic questions. First, you must identify what you have. Examine your 1975 no mint mark penny under magnification. Look for doubling in the date or lettering. Look for unusual thickness in numbers. Look for missing design elements or strange shifts in alignment. If something looks different from a normal penny, do not ignore it. Second, authentication is critical. Professional grading services can encapsulate and certify your coin, confirming its authenticity and condition. Once graded, your coin becomes far more attractive to serious buyers. Certification builds trust, and trust drives high-dollar sales. Third, understand the current market value. Error coins from the mid-1970s in top condition have reached impressive auction results. The maximum dollar value depends on the specific error type and grade, but exceptional specimens have brought in thousands of dollars in competitive bidding environments. And when demand is high and supply is limited, prices climb even higher. Think about that for a moment. Thousands of dollars from a coin originally worth 1 cent. How many people are walking past that opportunity every single day? And here is another question that matters deeply to you and your financial future. How to sell old and rare coins in the USA and its value in auction shops. The answer is strategy. You can sell through reputable coin dealers, major auction houses, or online platforms that specialize in certified coins. Auction environments often generate the strongest prices because multiple collectors compete, pushing the final bid upward. Imagine your 1975 error penny listed in a professional auction catalog. High-resolution images. A certified grade. Bidders watching. The countdown ticking. Each new bid raising the price. That is not just selling a coin. That is participating in a marketplace driven by passion and scarcity. Act 3 brings transformation. This is where fear turns into empowerment. The fear is simple. What if you ignore this information and later discover you spent a rare coin on coffee? What if you had a chance to secure financial breathing room, to add serious cash to your savings, and you missed it because you never checked, but the empowerment is stronger. You now know that even a 1975 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny can hold hidden value. You know that coin errors are not mistakes to dismiss but signals to investigate. You know that collectors are actively searching for standout examples. And you know that the right combination of rarity, condition, and demand can push a humble penny into maximum dollar territory in today's market. Let me connect this to your bigger dream. Many of you watching are not just curious collectors. You are people who want to sell old coins. You want to know how to make money from coins. You want to turn forgotten jars of change into meaningful financial gains. You want to live a wealthier, freer lifestyle. And that journey does not always begin with a gold bar. Sometimes it begins with a single copper coin. From pocket change to millions sounds dramatic. But every major collection, every high-profile auction, every life-changing sale started with someone who decided to look closer. Someone who decided not to underestimate the small things. So here is your call to action. Tonight, open that drawer. Bring out your pennies. Separate the 1975 no-mint Mark coins. Examine them carefully. If you suspect an error, seek professional grading. Research recent auction results. Ask dealers questions. Be proactive. Be informed. Be bold. Imagine reaching into your pocket tonight, pulling out a simple penny, and realizing it could be worth more than your monthly mortgage, maybe more than your yearly salary. What if I told you that a seemingly ordinary 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent could be hiding in plain sight, quietly waiting to change someone's financial story? And what if that someone is you? Stay with me, because today we are diving deep into the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent, a coin struck at the legendary United States Mint in Philadelphia, and why certain rare error examples are commanding serious attention in today's competitive market. If you are between 30 and 65, living in the United States, holding on to jars of old coins, inherited collections, or forgotten pocket change, this is your wake-up call. Because sometimes wealth doesn't arrive in a briefcase. Sometimes it arrives in copper. Act 1 begins with something ordinary. The year 1978. Gas was cheap, music was loud, and millions of pennies were rolling off the presses. The Lincoln cent design, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln, had already become an American icon. By 1978, these coins were composed mostly of copper, giving them that rich brown or reddish tone collectors love. In Philadelphia, coins were struck without a mint mark. That means if your 1978 penny has no letter under the date, it was minted there. Now here's the twist. Most 1978 no-mint mark pennies are worth just 1 cent. That's the calm before the storm. Because hidden among the billions produced are rare error coins. And error coins are where the story changes from ordinary to extraordinary. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you looked at your coins under a magnifying glass? Or better yet, when was the last time you considered that a mistake at the mint could become your financial opportunity? Error coins from 1978 can include dramatic off-center strikes, where the design is partially missing and shifted to one side. There are double die errors, where the date or lettering appears duplicated due to a misalignment in the die. There are clipped planchets, where a curved portion of the coin is missing. And then there are broad strikes and strike-through errors that create unique textures and shapes. Each one tells a story of a split-second mechanical imperfection that slipped past quality control, and here's where excitement kicks in. Collectors do not pay for perfection alone. They pay for rarity. They pay for uniqueness. They pay for stories. A high-grade 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent with a strong double die or dramatic off-center strike can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars in the current market. In pristine, professionally graded condition, exceptional examples have reached their maximum dollar potential in heated auction environments. Pause for a second. If a single cent can sell for thousands, how many might you already have? 5? 10? A whole jar, this is where fear enters the picture. Because every day, people unknowingly spend rare coins at face value. They drop them into vending machines. They hand them to cashiers. They let them sit in garages exposed to moisture. And just like that, opportunity disappears, but not you. Not after today. Act 2 is about awakening. The shift from ignorance to awareness. From pocket change to potential. First, condition matters. Collectors use grading scales to determine a coin's state of preservation. Coins graded mint state, especially MS65 and above, are in high demand. The red luster of copper, known as red or RD in grading terms, can dramatically increase value. A 1978 no-mint mark penny that looks nearly untouched, with sharp details in Lincoln's hair and strong lettering, immediately enters a different league. Second, authenticity and certification create trust. Professional grading services like Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company encapsulate coins in tamper-evident holders and assign official grades. When buyers see these slabs, confidence rises. And when confidence rises, bidding wars begin. Now let's interrupt the pattern for a moment. Be honest. If you found a penny worth $5,000, would you tell your neighbor? Or would you suddenly become very quiet at the barbecue? Here's the powerful part. The demand for rare Lincoln cents remains strong because they are affordable entry points for new collectors and nostalgic icons for seasoned ones. The Lincoln Cent series is one of the most widely collected in American history. That creates liquidity. And liquidity creates opportunity. So you're probably asking right now, how to sell old rare coins. How to sell old and rare coins in USA and its value in auction shop. How to make money from coins. Can pocket change really turn into something life-changing? Yes, it can. But it requires strategy. Start by carefully sorting your coins. Separate 1978 no-mint mark pennies. Examine them under magnification for doubling in the date or the word Liberty. Look for unusual shapes or missing metal. Check weight if possible, because anomalies can signal striking issues. Handle coins by the edges. Protect their surfaces, then research recent auction sales. Major auction houses and online platforms provide sold listings that reveal real market demand. When a rare error appears, bidders compete aggressively. Prices climb. Emotions rise. And that maximum dollar value becomes reality. Another question for you. Are you sitting on a collection inherited from a parent or grandparent? Have you ever wondered if those old coffee cans contain overlooked treasures? The difference between a 1-cent coin and a $1,000 coin is knowledge. Act 3 is transformation. This is where your story connects from beginning to end. Remember the opening question about pulling wealth from your pocket? Now imagine taking action. Imagine discovering a dramatic 1978 double die error in near-perfect condition. You send it for grading. It comes back high grade. You consign it to a respected auction house. Bidders across the country compete. The hammer falls at a price that once seemed impossible for a single cent. That is not fantasy. That is how the coin market works when rarity meets demand. And let's address urgency. Markets move. Interest rises and falls. Economic uncertainty often drives people toward tangible assets like rare coins. When demand spikes, so do prices. Waiting too long can mean missing peak opportunity, but here's the most inspiring truth. You do not need millions of dollars to start. You need curiosity. You need discipline. You need the courage to look at what others ignore. From pocket changes to millions is not just a catchy phrase. It is a mindset. It is about seeing potential where others see pennies. It is about asking better questions. How to selling coins for maximum profit. Where to find reputable dealers. How to negotiate confidently. How to protect yourself from undervaluation. The answers are empowering. Work with established dealers. Seek multiple opinions. Use grading services. Choose reputable auction houses. Stay informed about trends. Build relationships in the numismatic community, and above all, believe that opportunity often hides in small places. So tonight, I challenge you. Open that drawer. Empty that jar. Look closely at every 1978 no mint mark Lincoln cent. Examine them with fresh eyes. Because one powerful error, one exceptional condition coin, could transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. What if I told you that a single penny, a coin so small you might ignore it in your pocket, could quietly hold the power to change your financial future? Not a gold bar. Not a lottery ticket. Just a simple copper-colored coin from 1979. And not just any coin, but the 1979 D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Before you dismiss it, ask yourself this: when was the last time you actually looked at the pennies in your jar? What if one of them is worth far more than 1 cent? What if the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is a tiny mint mark and a rare error that most people never notice? Today, we are diving deep into the world of the 1979 D Lincoln penny, struck at the legendary Denver Mint. This is not just about coins. This is about opportunity. This is about recognizing value where others see nothing. And if you are between 30 and 65, living in the United States, holding on to old coins, wondering how to sell old rare coins, how to make money from coins, how to turn pocket change into something life-changing, then this message is for you. Let's begin with the story behind the coin itself. The 1979 D Lincoln 1-cent penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, you see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that defined American coinage for decades. In 1979, millions of these pennies were struck in Denver. At first glance, it seems common. Ordinary. Forgettable. But here is where Act 1 shifts. In every large production year, there are mistakes. And in the world of coin collecting, mistakes are not flaws. They are treasures. Now imagine this. It is 1979. The Denver Mint is producing millions upon millions of pennies. Machines are running fast. Dies are striking metal blanks over and over again. And sometimes, under pressure, something goes wrong. A die cracks. A die becomes misaligned. A planchet is struck off-center. A double image appears because the die shifts slightly between strikes. These are not just production errors. They are rare events captured in metal, and here is the exciting part. Certain 1979 D Lincoln pennies with dramatic mint errors have sold for astonishing amounts in today's collector market. Especially coins with strong double die features, major off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or bold die cracks that create unique patterns. Collectors compete aggressively for high-grade examples, especially those graded by trusted third-party services. In top mint state condition, with a dramatic and visible error, the current market maximum for a 1979 D Lincoln penny has reached as high as $10,000. $10,000 for 1 penny. Pause for a second. When you last emptied your pocket, did you look twice at that small copper coin? Or did you assume it was worthless? How many people throw them into jars, coffee cans, or leave them in drawers for decades? What if the treasure you are searching for is already inside your home? Now we enter Act 2, where curiosity becomes urgency. Most 1979 D pennies are common. That is true. But rare error coins are in extremely high demand. The key is knowing what to look for. Look closely at the date and the word Liberty. Do you see doubling that is strong and clear, not just machine vibration but true separation in the letters? Look at the mint mark D under the date. Is it sharp and well defined? Or is there something unusual about it? Is the coin struck off-center, leaving part of the design missing but still showing the date? Off-center coins with a visible date are highly collectible. Do you see a dramatic crack running across Lincoln's face or through the memorial on the reverse? That could be a retained die break, and collectors love bold visual errors. Let me ask you something important. Have you ever wondered how to sell old and rare coins in the USA and its value in auction shops? Have you thought about how to sell coins the right way, not just to the first buyer who offers you cash? Have you asked yourself how to make money from coins in a smart, strategic way instead of guessing? Here is where knowledge becomes power. First, condition matters. A 1979 D penny with an error in circulated, worn condition may still be valuable. But a brilliant uncirculated example, graded in high mint state, can multiply its value dramatically. This is why serious sellers send potential high-value coins to professional grading services. Certification builds trust. Trust builds competition. And competition builds price. Second, selling platform matters. Local coin shops are useful, but auction houses often unlock the highest potential. Major auction platforms attract collectors across the nation, sometimes across the world. When two determined bidders want the same rare error coin, the price does not crawl upward. It jumps. That is how maximum market values are achieved, but here is a quick pattern interrupt. Imagine explaining to your neighbor that your penny is worth thousands. They might laugh and say, "It's just a penny." And you smile, because you know something they do not. Knowledge creates advantage. And advantage creates wealth. Act 3 is where everything connects. This is not just about one coin from 1979. This is about a mindset. From pocket change to millions is not a fantasy. It begins with awareness. It begins with asking better questions. What do I own that others overlook? What hidden assets are sitting in my drawers? How many jars of coins have I ignored for years? If you are serious about building a wealthy lifestyle, about turning overlooked items into meaningful assets, then start today. Gather your coins. Separate the 1979 D pennies. Inspect them carefully under bright light. Use a magnifying glass. Compare details. If you see something unusual, do not clean the coin. Cleaning destroys value. Instead, protect it in a holder and research recent auction results. Ask yourself again, how to sell old rare coins properly. The answer is simple but powerful. Authenticate. Grade. Market strategically. Create competition. Do not rush. Patience in the coin world often rewards those who wait, and let me ask you one more question. If one small penny can reach a market maximum of $10,000, how many other coins in your collection could hold hidden potential? How many opportunities are hiding in plain sight? There is urgency here. Every year, rare coins are lost, damaged, or spent unknowingly. Every day, someone cashes in a valuable coin at face value because they did not know what they had. Do not let that be your story. Let your story be different. Let it be about discovery, about smart decisions, about turning knowledge into profit. The 1979 D Lincoln 1-cent penny is a symbol. It represents the idea that value is not always obvious. It reminds us that small beginnings can lead to significant outcomes. And for collectors and sellers across America, it stands as proof that even the most ordinary object can become extraordinary under the right circumstances. So tonight, before you relax, before you scroll endlessly, take 10 minutes. Open that jar. Spread the coins on a table. Look at the dates. Look at the mint marks. Ask yourself, could this be the one? Could this be the coin that changes everything? What if that small copper coin sitting quietly in your home right now is the opportunity you've been waiting for? Stay with me, because today we are uncovering the powerful truth about the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has quietly built demand among collectors across the United States and could turn ordinary pocket change into extraordinary profit. Picture this. It's 1991. The United States Mint is producing millions of pennies featuring the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln from the iconic Lincoln Cent series. The obverse still carries the dignified image first introduced in 1909, and the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial design that defined American small change for decades. Coins are struck in multiple facilities, including Philadelphia and Denver. Now here's where attention matters. Coins from Philadelphia during this period typically carried no mint mark. That's right, no mint mark does not mean no value. In fact, sometimes it means the opposite, the 1991 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and while millions were produced, certain examples stand apart from the rest. And this is where your opportunity begins. Because in the world of coin collecting, condition is king and errors are royalty. Have you ever closely examined the pennies in your possession? Have you tilted them under a light to see if the surfaces shimmer with original luster? Have you checked for doubling in the lettering, especially around the date or the word liberty? What if you missed a valuable error hiding in plain sight? Some 1991 pennies exhibit striking errors that ignite collector demand: doubled dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and dramatic misalignments. These are not ordinary coins. These are mint mistakes that escaped into circulation. And collectors love mistakes. Why? Because errors are scarce, and scarcity drives demand. Now let's talk about condition. In circulated grades, a 1991 no-mint Mark penny may only carry face value. But in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially coins graded MS-67 or higher, the value can climb significantly. Professional grading services like Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company authenticate and encapsulate coins, giving buyers confidence and pushing auction prices higher. Here's something powerful to consider. In recent years, high-grade examples of 1991 no-mint Mark Lincoln cents have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars when exceptional quality meets competitive bidding. That's not hype. That's the reality of supply and demand in the collector market. And let me ask you something important. How many coins are sitting in drawers across America right now, unsearched, unnoticed, undervalued? How many people are unknowingly holding assets they don't understand? Could you be one of them? This is where fear and urgency come into play. Coins in top condition are disappearing into long-term collections. Every year, fewer pristine examples remain available. As collectors compete for the best, prices rise. The window of opportunity narrows. The question is not whether valuable coins exist. The question is whether you will take action before someone else does. Now pause for a moment. Imagine turning your spare change into real money. Imagine discovering that one coin, just one, could help pay off debt, fund a vacation, or seed a new investment. It sounds dramatic, but stories like this happen. The coin market rewards knowledge and speed, but how do you sell old rare coins? How do you move from curiosity to cash? How do you make money from coins? These are the questions I hear again and again from viewers between 30 and 65 who want financial freedom, who want control, who want to transform forgotten assets into real opportunity. First, education. Learn to identify key features. Examine your 1991 no-mint Mark penny under magnification. Look for doubling around the date. Check the edges for errors. Study the surface for full red copper luster. Coins that retain original mint brilliance are far more desirable. Second, protection. Do not clean your coin. I repeat, do not clean your coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Collectors pay premiums for originality, not shine created by polishing. Third, authentication. If you believe you have a high-grade or error example, submit it to a respected grading service. A certified coin sells faster and commands stronger bids. Now let's talk about selling. How to sell old and rare coins in the USA and get maximum value. Auction houses remain one of the most powerful platforms for rare and high-grade coins. Competitive bidding can push prices upward, especially when two determined collectors want the same coin. Online marketplaces also provide access to national buyers, but presentation and certification matter. Local coin shops can offer immediate payment, though often below auction potential. Coin shows connect you directly with dealers and collectors. Each path has advantages. The key is strategy. Here's a pattern interrupt for you. When was the last time you truly examined a penny before spending it? Be honest. Most of us treat them like background noise. Yet within that noise could be opportunity, and here's something even more compelling. The coin market thrives on demand cycles. When economic uncertainty rises, tangible assets gain attention. Collectible coins offer history, scarcity, and portability. They are small, powerful stores of value. Now let's bring this full circle. You are watching this because you believe there might be more to your pocket change. You believe there might be hidden wealth in everyday objects. And you're right to think that way. Because wealth is often overlooked by those who fail to look closely. The 1991 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny may not sound glamorous. It may not carry gold or silver. But in the right condition, with the right error, certified and presented properly, it can command the maximum dollar the market is willing to pay. And in the current collector environment, exceptional examples are in high demand. So ask yourself again. How to make money from coins? It starts with awareness. It grows with knowledge. It multiplies with action. From pocket change to serious profit. That transformation is not fantasy. It is the result of discipline, research, and timing. You do not need millions to start. You need curiosity. You need patience. You need to check the coins you already have. If I told you that a single penny from 1997 could be worth more than a luxury vacation, more than a year of mortgage payments, maybe even enough to completely transform your financial future, would you check your pocket change tonight? Stay with me, because today we are diving deep into one of the most overlooked modern coins in America, the 1997 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, and the powerful coin errors that have collectors paying maximum dollar in today's market. Picture this. It's 1997. Gas is cheap, the internet is just starting to boom, and millions of pennies are rolling out of the Denver Mint. Most people spend them without a second thought. But hidden among those ordinary cents are extraordinary mistakes, rare mint errors that have turned a humble 1-cent coin into a highly demanded collectible treasure. Now let me ask you something important. How many times have you dumped your pocket change into a jar? How many times have you walked past a penny on the ground? What if one of those coins was quietly worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars right now? This is where Act 1 begins. Awareness. The 1997 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It looks ordinary. It feels ordinary. But in the world of coin collecting, ordinary is often just a disguise. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these pennies. That sounds like too many to be valuable, right? Here's the twist. Value is not about how many were made. Value is about how many survived in rare error condition, untouched, unnoticed, and uncirculated. And here's where excitement builds. Some 1997 D pennies show dramatic off-center strikes. Others reveal double die errors where the lettering appears slightly doubled. Some display die cracks, cuds, or striking anomalies that make collectors stop scrolling and start bidding. A perfectly preserved 1997 D penny graded in high mint state condition by top grading services like Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company can command maximum dollar in today's competitive market. Now pause for a second. Have you ever asked yourself, how do I sell old rare coins? How do I know if my penny is worth big money? How do I turn pocket change into serious cash? These are not just questions. These are opportunities. Act 2 is about discovery and urgency. Right now in the United States, demand for certified error coins is stronger than ever. Online auction platforms like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers Galleries regularly feature modern error cents that attract aggressive bidding. Why? Because collectors are hunting for overlooked treasures. They are searching estate sales, coin rolls, bank boxes, and yes, circulation. Imagine the fear of realizing you once spent a coin that could have paid off your car. That fear is real. And it should motivate you, but don't let fear freeze you. Let it fuel you. The key errors to look for on a 1997 D penny include strong doubling in the date or motto, significant off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and dramatic die breaks. Condition matters tremendously. A coin with sharp details, full red luster, and no heavy circulation wear can multiply in value compared to an average brown circulated piece. And here's a pattern interrupt for you. Be honest, when was the last time you looked at a penny under a magnifying glass? If your answer is never, you might be ignoring opportunity sitting in your kitchen drawer. Now let's connect the dots. people between 30 and 65 across America are rediscovering coin collecting not just as a hobby, but as a strategy. A strategy for building wealth, for diversifying assets, for creating tangible value in uncertain times. Stocks fluctuate. Real estate shifts. But rare coins? They have a passionate collector base that spans generations. So how do you sell old and rare coins in the USA and get maximum value in an auction shop? First, authentication is power. Submitting your coin to professional coin grading service or numismatic guarantee company establishes credibility. A certified holder protects your coin and gives buyers confidence. Confidence drives bidding. Bidding drives price. Second, choose the right marketplace. Major auction houses like Heritage Auctions attract serious collectors willing to pay premium prices. Local coin shops can offer immediate liquidity. Online platforms expand your reach nationwide. Now ask yourself again. How do I make money from coins? The answer is knowledge plus action. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. Action without knowledge is gambling. But when you combine both, you create leverage. Act 3 is transformation. Let's imagine you find a sharply struck 1997 D penny with a noticeable double die feature. You send it for grading. It returns in high mint state with a recognized error designation. Suddenly, what was once 1 cent becomes a highly demanded collectible. Collectors compete. The price climbs. You realize that small decisions, like checking your change, can lead to large rewards, from pocket change to powerful profit. From overlook to overbid, and here is the deeper connection. Every valuable coin starts as ordinary metal. Every wealthy lifestyle starts with one smart decision. The 1997 D Lincoln 1 cent penny represents more than copper-plated zinc. It represents awareness. It represents opportunity hiding in plain sight. So let me challenge you, tonight, before you relax on the couch, take 10 minutes. Open that jar of coins. Look closely at every 1997 D penny. Examine the date. Study the lettering. Search for doubling. Inspect the edges for clipping. Feel the thrill of possibility, because someone, somewhere, will discover the next high-value example. The only question is, will it be you? How to sell old rare coins. Start by educating yourself, verifying authenticity, and positioning your coin where serious buyers compete. How to make money from coins. Treat them as assets, not spare change. How to sell coins for maximum dollar. Present them professionally, grade them properly, and market them strategically. Imagine reaching into your pocket tonight, pulling out a simple penny, and discovering it could change your financial future. Not a lottery ticket. Not a risky investment. Just a small copper coin that most people ignore. What if I told you that a 1998 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark could be hiding in plain sight, quietly waiting to reward someone who knows what to look for? And what if that someone is you? Today we're diving into the powerful story of the 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin born in a year when America was thriving, markets were climbing, and opportunity was everywhere. In 1998, the United States Mint was producing millions of pennies at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia. Pennies struck there traditionally carry no mint mark. That tiny detail, the absence of a letter under the date, tells you this coin came from Philadelphia. And while most of these coins are ordinary, some are anything but. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly examined the pennies in your change? Not glanced at them. Examined them. Because in 1998, something fascinating happened in the world of coin collecting. Certain error varieties began surfacing, and collectors across the United States started paying serious money for coins that most people had already spent on coffee. This is where the story gets exciting. The 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design originally created by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, a design that defined the penny from 1959 to 2008. At first glance, nothing unusual. But collectors aren't looking at first glance. They're looking at details so small they require magnification. Have you ever heard of the 1998 wide AM error? Here's where the tension builds. On certain 1998 pennies from Philadelphia, the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse are spaced wider apart than normal. In standard 1998 circulation strikes, those letters are very close, almost touching. But in rare cases, a proof reverse design was mistakenly used for regular circulation coins. That small spacing difference created one of the most talked about modern penny errors in the hobby, and when collectors realized it, demand surged. Imagine the moment. A collector examining a jar of pennies notices the spacing. He compares it to a known example. His heart starts pounding. Could this be the wide AM? He sends it for grading. Weeks later, confirmation arrives. Suddenly, a 1-cent coin becomes worth hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars depending on condition. Now let me ask you directly. What if that coin is sitting in your house right now? What if it's in your coin jar, your dresser drawer, or that old coffee can in the garage? This is where urgency comes in. Because the market for error coins is driven by awareness. The more people discover them, the more competition increases. And yet, many Americans between 30 and 65 still have decades of accumulated change. Decades of opportunity. The current market value of a 1998 no-mint mark wide AM penny depends heavily on condition. In circulated grades, these coins can sell for several $100s. In uncirculated condition, especially when professionally graded by top services, values can climb dramatically. High-grade examples have reached into the thousands at auction. And when demand peaks, competitive bidding can push the maximum dollar amounts even higher. Think about that. A coin worth 1 cent transformed into a 4-figure asset because someone paid attention, but here's the emotional trigger most people ignore: fear of missing out. How many valuable coins have already passed through your hands? How many times have you spent a rare coin at face value without realizing it? That uncomfortable thought should motivate you, not discourage you. Because today, you are informed. Let's talk about action. How do you sell old rare coins? How do you start selling coins safely and profitably in the United States? How do you make money from coins and potentially move from pocket change to serious wealth? First, knowledge creates leverage. Learn to identify key varieties like the 1998 wide AM. Use a magnifying glass. Compare your coin to verified images from reputable sources. Second, protect the coin. Do not clean it. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Third, consider professional grading. Certification adds credibility and unlocks stronger auction results. Now imagine this scenario. You discover a high-grade 1998 no-mint mark wide AM penny. You submit it to a respected grading service. It receives a strong mint state grade. Suddenly, you're not just holding a coin. You're holding a certified collectible recognized nationwide. Where do you sell it? You can sell through major auction houses, online marketplaces, or reputable coin dealers. Auction platforms often bring competitive bidding, especially for error coins in high demand. Coin shops can provide immediate offers. The key is comparison. Never accept the first offer without understanding the market. Ask yourself, is this coin better suited for auction exposure? Is there national demand? Could collectors compete for it? And yes, the demand is real. Modern error coins have a passionate following. Collectors actively search for 1998 wide AM pennies. The supply is limited. Every time one is discovered, the available population becomes more defined. Scarcity fuels value. Value fuels excitement. Let me reset your attention with a simple, almost humorous question. When was the last time you inspected a penny under a lamp like a detective in a crime movie? It may sound dramatic, but that level of curiosity separates casual spenders from strategic sellers. Now let's connect this to the bigger vision. Many of you watching are between 30 and 65 years old. You've worked hard. You've saved. You've built families and careers. But what if hidden assets are already in your possession? What if wealth isn't only built through stocks or real estate, but also through overlooked collectibles, how to sell old and rare coins in the USA and understand their value in an auction shop. The answer begins with documentation. Research recent auction results. Look at completed sales for 1998 wide AM pennies in comparable condition. Understand grading scales. When you walk into a coin shop informed, you negotiate from strength. Excitement builds when preparation meets opportunity. Picture yourself bringing in a small collection of sorted coins. The dealer's expression changes as he spots the spacing on America. He double-checks. He nods. Suddenly the conversation shifts. That is the power of knowledge, but don't wait for luck. Create it. Search your pennies tonight. Look specifically at 1,998 coins with no mint mark. Examine the reverse. Are the A and M clearly separated? Compare carefully. If you suspect you have one, treat it like the asset it could be. This isn't about fantasy. It's about awareness. Across the country, collectors have already profited from modern penny errors. And while not every 1998 penny is valuable, the ones with confirmed wide AM errors and high grades are highly sought after in today's market. The maximum dollar potential depends on grade, eye appeal, and demand at the time of sale. In strong markets, pristine examples can command impressive sums. And remember, condition is king. A sharply struck, red, uncirculated coin will always attract stronger bids than a worn example. Now let's bring it full circle. At the beginning of this video, I asked you to imagine pulling a penny from your pocket and changing your financial trajectory. That possibility still stands. The 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny represents more than copper and zinc. It represents overlooked opportunity. It represents the idea that value often hides in plain sight. So ask yourself, how to make money from coins? By educating yourself. By searching intentionally. By selling strategically. How to go from pocket change to millions. It starts with one coin, one discovery, one decision not to ignore the details. What if I told you that a simple penny sitting in a jar, a drawer, or even your car's cup holder could quietly be worth far more than 1 cent? What if that small copper coin you almost ignored could be the turning point between ordinary living and extraordinary opportunity? Today, we are diving deep into the 2006 D mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a modern coin that most Americans have seen, touched, and spent without a second thought. But here's the twist. Some of these coins, because of rare mint errors and exceptional condition, are commanding astonishing prices in today's market. And if you are between 30 and 65, living in the United States, holding onto old change with the hope of turning it into serious money, this video is for you. The 2006 D Lincoln cent was struck at the legendary United States Mint in Denver, identified by the small but powerful D mint mark. By 2006, the design still honored President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a tribute that began in 1909 and continues to captivate collectors. On the reverse, we see the familiar Lincoln Memorial design, representing strength, unity, and American legacy. Millions of these coins were produced. But here is where excitement begins to rise. Within those millions are rare variations, striking errors, and pristine high-grade examples that collectors are aggressively seeking. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your pocket change carefully? Not quickly. Carefully. Have you ever examined the date, the mint mark, the shine, the alignment of the lettering? Or did you assume that because it's modern, it can't possibly be valuable? That assumption could be costing you thousands of dollars. Coin errors are not mistakes in the ordinary sense. They are opportunities. During the minting process, high-speed presses strike blank planchets with tremendous force. When something goes slightly wrong, the result can be dramatic. Off-center strikes. Double die errors where the lettering appears duplicated. Die cracks that create raised lines across the surface. Improperly annealed planchets that show unusual color patterns. Even dramatic broad strikes that look distorted or stretched. These are not damaged coins. These are mint-created rarities. And collectors love them. Imagine holding a 2060 penny with a visible double die on the date or lettering. Imagine discovering an off-center strike where part of Lincoln's portrait is shifted, yet the date and mint mark remain visible. That is the sweet spot collectors crave. Because rarity plus visibility equals demand. And demand equals money. Let's pause for a second. If a penny is only 1 cent, how can it be worth serious cash? Sounds almost funny, right? A coin you could drop on the sidewalk being worth hundreds or even thousands. But that is the magic of numismatics. Value is not determined by face value. It is determined by rarity, condition, and collector demand. The highest graded 2060 Lincoln cents in mint state condition, especially those certified MS67 or above by major grading services, have reached impressive prices at auction. Combine that high grade with a dramatic mint error, and now you are entering elite territory. In the current market, top examples have reached into the thousands of dollars, with maximum auction records pushing into 5-figure territory depending on the uniqueness of the error and the certified grade. That is not pocket change. That is a financial opportunity hiding in plain sight, and here's where urgency comes in. The coin market moves in cycles. Right now, error coins and high-grade modern issues are in high demand. Serious collectors are competing aggressively at major auction houses. If you wait years without checking what you have, you might miss the strongest selling window. How many times have we all said, "I wish I had acted sooner"? Do not let that be your story with your coin collection. Think about the bigger picture. You are not just looking at a penny. You are looking at a gateway. From pocket change to financial growth. From overlooked coins to real wealth-building opportunities. Many collectors started with jars of loose change. They educated themselves. They identified key dates and error coins. They submitted coins for professional grading. They learned how to sell old rare coins in the USA through reputable auction platforms and coin dealers. Step by step, small discoveries turned into meaningful profits. So, how do you sell old rare coins? First, knowledge is power. You must understand what you have. Look for the 2006 D mint mark under the date. Examine the coin under magnification. Are the letters sharp? Do you see doubling? Is the strike centered? Is the surface free from scratches and heavy wear? Condition matters immensely. A heavily circulated coin will not command the same price as a pristine uncirculated one. Next, consider professional grading. Reputable third-party grading companies authenticate, grade, and encapsulate your coin. That slabbed holder creates trust. And trust creates higher bids. When collectors see a certified high-grade 2006 D error penny, they are more willing to compete aggressively. This is how you move from guessing to maximizing value. Now let me ask you another question. Have you ever wondered how to make money from coins consistently, not just once? The answer lies in strategy. Study mint errors. Watch auction results. Understand what buyers are chasing. Build relationships with trusted coin dealers. Attend local coin shows. Explore established auction houses. When you know what the market values, you can position yourself ahead of casual sellers. There is also fear. And we must address it honestly. The fear of being cheated. The fear of selling too low. The fear of not recognizing a rare coin. These fears are real. But the solution is education and verification. Never rush into the first offer without research. Compare auction results. Seek multiple opinions from reputable professionals. Protect your asset like you would any investment. The beauty of the 2060 Lincoln cent is that it is modern enough to still be found in circulation. That means opportunity is not limited to elite collectors. It is available to everyday Americans who are willing to look closely. Every roll of pennies from the bank is a potential treasure hunt. Every inherited coin jar is a possible breakthrough moment, and let's inject a little humor here. How many of us have complained about pennies being useless? Some people even leave them behind at the checkout counter. What if the one you left behind had a rare off-center strike worth thousands? That tiny coin might have been quietly laughing at you all the way back into someone else's pocket. Excitement, fear, urgency, opportunity. They all connect here. The 2006 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny represents more than copper and zinc. It represents awareness. It represents the difference between seeing and truly observing. Between spending and investing. Between ignoring and acting. That if you are serious about selling old and rare coins in the USA, focus on reputable auction shops with national reach. Major auction platforms bring competitive bidders together, often driving prices to their maximum potential. Private sales can work, but auctions create urgency and bidding wars. And bidding wars are where maximum dollar results happen. Picture this. You submit your rare 2006 D-era penny for grading. It returns in a high mint state grade. You consign it to a respected auction. Bidders compete. The price climbs. The final hammer falls at a record-setting amount. That moment is not luck. It is preparation meeting opportunity, from pocket change to financial growth. From curiosity to confidence. From a simple penny to maximum dollar value in the current market. This is not fantasy. This is happening every year in the coin world. So tonight, before you relax, open that drawer. Bring out that jar. Check your 2006 D Lincoln cents. Look closely. Ask yourself, could this be the one? Could this small coin be the beginning of a larger journey? What if the next time you reach into your pocket, the small copper coin sliding across your fingertips isn't just spare change, but a hidden opportunity? Imagine discovering that a simple 2014 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent could be worth far more than 1 cent. Not just a few dollars. Not just a few hundred. But the kind of money that changes how you look at every jar of coins in your house. Before you dismiss that idea, ask yourself this: how many coins have passed through your hands in the last decade without a second glance? Today, we're diving deep into the United States 2014 D Mint Mark Lincoln cent, struck at the legendary Denver Mint. This is not just another penny story. This is about coin errors, rare varieties, overlooked treasures, and how ordinary Americans between 30 and 65 are quietly turning pocket change into serious money. And yes, we are going to talk about how to sell old rare coins, how to make money from coins, and how coins move from a kitchen drawer to a high-profile auction floor. In 2014, millions of pennies rolled off the presses in Denver. They were routine, common, and meant for circulation. Most people saw them as nothing more than a nuisance in their wallets. But here's the truth that excites seasoned collectors: where there is mass production, there is the possibility of error. And where there is error, there is opportunity. The 2014 D Lincoln cent features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has endured for over a century. On the reverse, the Union shield stands proud, symbolizing strength and unity. Now pause for a second. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Not glanced. Looked. Tilted it under light. Checked the mint mark. Compared lettering. Here's a humorous but serious thought: if pennies could talk, how many would scream, "I'm worth more than you think"? In every compelling story, something disrupts the normal world. For coin collectors and smart sellers, that disruption is knowledge. The 2014 D Lincoln cent has been known to show several types of mint errors that create intense demand in the marketplace. Off-center strikes. Double die characteristics. Die cracks. Cut errors. Improperly annealed planchets causing discoloration. Even rare misaligned dies. These are not defects in the negative sense. In the coin world, they are golden tickets. Why? Because collectors crave uniqueness. The more dramatic and well-preserved the error, the stronger the bidding competition. And competition is what drives prices higher. Imagine two collectors at an auction, both determined to secure a high-grade 2014 D penny with a bold off-center strike that still shows the full date and mint mark. One raises the paddle. The other counters. The room tightens. Suddenly, that 1 cent coin is no longer 1 cent. This is where fear and urgency enter the picture. Fear of missing out. Fear that someone else will find what you overlooked. Ask yourself honestly, are you letting valuable coins slip through your fingers because you assume modern coins can't be rare? That assumption has cost people thousands, but let's bring excitement back into the room. The current market shows that dramatic mint errors on modern Lincoln cents can command hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars depending on condition and certification. High-grade examples authenticated by top grading services often ignite bidding wars. And the maximum dollar depends on grade, eye appeal, and error severity. The stronger the visual impact, the stronger the demand. Now you may be thinking, how do I actually sell old rare coins? How do I move from pocket change to millions? How to sell old and rare coins in USA and its value in auction shop? These are powerful questions, and successful sellers ask them early. First, knowledge builds leverage. You must identify the error correctly. Magnification is your friend. Good lighting is your partner. Comparing your coin with verified examples is essential. Second, authentication increases trust. Professional grading companies provide credibility, and credibility attracts serious buyers. Third, exposure determines price. Selling to a random pawn shop rarely maximizes value. Selling through respected coin auctions or established online platforms places your coin in front of competitive bidders. Here's a pattern interrupt for you. If you're still tossing pennies into a jar after this, we need to have a serious conversation. Act 3, Transformation. This is where your mindset shifts. The 2014 Lincoln cent becomes more than copper-plated zinc. It becomes a symbol of awareness. The people who profit in the coin market are not magicians. They are observant. They are patient. They are strategic. They understand supply and demand. The demand for error coins remains strong because collectors love stories. And an error coin tells a story of imperfection turned into value. There is something deeply inspiring about that. A tiny mistake during production becomes a prized collectible decades later. Isn't that a powerful metaphor? Picture this: you sort through a small box of coins inherited from family. Among them sits a 2014 penny with a bold die crack running across Lincoln's portrait. You research. You compare. You confirm it matches known high-value error characteristics. You submit it for grading. Weeks later, it returns in a sealed holder with a strong grade. Now you have an asset, not just a coin. How to make money from coins. You learn the market. You track recent sales. You study auction results. You time your sale when demand is high. You present clear photographs. You describe the error accurately. You create competition. That's how coins move from drawers to auction headlines. And here's the urgency: the longer you wait, the more coins disappear into circulation damage. High-grade examples become harder to find over time. Condition is king in numismatics. A pristine error coin today may not stay pristine if mishandled tomorrow. Think about your goals. Financial security. A wealthy lifestyle. Extra income streams. The coin market rewards those who treat it seriously. It's not gambling. It's strategy combined with research. And yes, it can start with something as small as a penny. Let me ask you directly. Do you know how to sell old rare coins properly? Do you know how to avoid underselling? Do you know how to identify buyers who pay maximum dollar? Have you checked your pocket change this week? Are you willing to invest time into learning what others ignore? The 2014 Lincoln cent reminds us that value is often hidden in plain sight. While millions were produced, only a tiny fraction carry the types of errors that collectors chase aggressively. That scarcity, paired with demand, creates opportunity. So here's your call to action. Tonight, open that jar. Examine your 2014 pennies. Look closely at the mint mark. Study the lettering. Search for doubling. Inspect the rim for off-center strikes. Feel the thrill of possibility. Because from pocket changes to millions is not just a catchy phrase. It is a mindset shift. What if that small copper coin from 2017, the one you barely glance at before tossing into a drawer, could hold the power to transform your financial future? Today, we are diving into the fascinating world of the 2017 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a modern coin that has captured the attention of serious collectors across the United States. And if you are between 30 and 65, holding onto old coins, wondering how to sell old rare coins, how to make money from coins, or even dreaming about turning pocket change into millions, this story is for you. Let me take you back for a moment. The year 2017 marked the 225th anniversary of the United States Mint. The penny still carried the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, a design first introduced in 1909. That portrait, created by Victor David Brenner, remains one of the most recognized images in American coinage. The reverse in 2017 featured the Union Shield, symbolizing Lincoln's preservation of the Union. These coins were struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small but powerful D Mint mark beneath the date. Now here's where excitement begins to build. Most people believe that only old coins from the 1800s or early 1900s can be worth serious money. But modern coins, especially error coins, have shattered that belief. And the 2017 D Lincoln penny has produced some eye-opening mint errors that are commanding impressive premiums in today's market. Before we go deeper, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually checked your pocket change? Really checked it? Not just glanced at it, but examined it under light, maybe even with a magnifying glass. What if the coin you are ignoring right now is the one that changes everything? In the world of coin collecting, errors are king. Collectors crave mistakes. Why? Because errors are rare, and rarity creates demand. Some of the most talked about 2017 D penny errors include double die varieties, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks that create dramatic raised lines across Lincoln's portrait or the shield on the reverse. These are not damaged coins. These are mint-made errors. And that distinction makes all the difference. Imagine discovering a bold double die on the date or lettering. Imagine finding a 2017 D penny struck 15 or 20% off-center with full date visible. Collectors compete fiercely for high-grade examples of these errors. The higher the grade, the more intense the bidding. Coins certified by respected grading services often bring the strongest auction results because buyers trust authenticated pieces. Now here's the part that should grab your attention. In the current market, exceptional 2017 D Lincoln penny error coins in top condition have reached maximum dollar levels in the hundreds and even thousands of dollars depending on the severity of the error and grade. That is not fantasy. That is the reality of supply and demand in a competitive marketplace. And the demand is strong because modern error coins attract both seasoned investors and new collectors looking for affordable entry points with serious upside potential. But let's be honest for a moment. Fear is natural. You might be thinking, what if I miss it? What if I have something valuable and do not even know it? What if I sell too cheap? These are real concerns. And that fear is exactly why education is power. So how do you sell old rare coins? How do you sell old and rare coins in the USA and its value in auction shops? The first step is knowledge. Identify the mint mark. Look closely for errors. Preserve the coin carefully. Never clean it. Cleaning destroys value faster than almost anything else. Once you believe you have a potential error coin, consider professional grading. Certification establishes authenticity and condition, which dramatically increases buyer confidence. Then comes the exciting part. Selling coins. You can approach reputable coin dealers, attend major coin shows, or consign to established auction houses that specialize in numismatics. Online auction platforms also provide access to national and international buyers. When demand is high, bidding wars can push prices upward quickly. That is how ordinary coins become extraordinary profits, and here is a pattern interrupt for you. If pennies were truly worthless, why would collectors spend hours studying them under microscopes? Why would investors track mint reports and population data? Why would auction houses dedicate entire catalogs to error coins? Because within these small copper discs lies a world of opportunity. Think about your goals. Do you want to create extra income? Build a legacy collection? Fund retirement dreams? Travel more? Upgrade your lifestyle? The journey from pocket change to financial breakthrough begins with awareness. Many people ignore modern coins because they assume they are too common. Yet history shows that overlooked coins often become tomorrow's prized rarities. The 2017 D. Lincoln penny represents more than just 1 year of production. It represents possibility. It proves that you do not need to inherit a treasure chest from the 1800s to participate in the rare coin market. You can start with coins already circulating. You can start today. Now let's connect the dots. We talked about errors. We talked about grading. We talked about selling. But the deeper message is confidence. Confidence to check your coins. Confidence to research values. Confidence to approach reputable buyers. Confidence to negotiate wisely. When you understand the market, you control the outcome. And let me ask you again. How many jars of coins are sitting in American homes right now? How many coffee cans filled with loose change? How many forgotten piggy banks? Each one is a potential opportunity. Each coin deserves a second look. Collectors between 30 and 65 have a unique advantage. You have financial maturity, patience, and the ability to recognize long-term value. Rare coin investing is not gambling. It is strategic acquisition of scarce assets backed by historical demand. The market for certified error coins continues to grow because tangible assets hold appeal in uncertain times. Picture this. You examine a roll of 2017 D pennies. One stands out. Slightly misaligned. Bold doubling on the date. Sharp details. You send it for grading. Weeks later, it returns encapsulated and authenticated. You consign it to auction. Competitive bids begin to rise. That small coin once worth 1 cent now commands serious attention. That is the power of knowledge meeting opportunity. If you are wondering how to make money from coins, the answer is simple but powerful. Learn what to look for. Protect what you find. Present it professionally. Sell where demand is strongest. Repeat the process. Over time, small discoveries can add up dramatically. Do not underestimate modern coin errors. The 2017 D. Lincoln 1 cent penny stands as proof that even recent issues can produce valuable varieties. The key is awareness and action. The market rewards those who pay attention. So tonight, before you relax on the couch, take 5 minutes. Open that jar. Spread those pennies across the table. Look closely at each 2017 coin with a D mint mark. Search for doubling, off-center strikes, unusual textures, dramatic die cracks. Ask yourself, could this be the one? Opportunity rarely announces itself with flashing lights. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, disguised as a simple penny. The difference between those who profit and those who overlook wealth often comes down to one choice. Will you check, or will you ignore? From pocket change to powerful profits, from overlooked copper to auction spotlight, the journey is real. The 2017 D. Lincoln penny is not just a coin. It is a reminder that value exists for those willing to search.